Hi and welcome to TTN Info TV SK channel. My name is Syed. Here I'm with the latest news for Wednesday 18 July 2023. Saudi Arabia offers 1 million euros to support Interpol digital transformation. Saudi Arabia has provided a voluntary contribution of 1 million euros to the Interpol capabilities for operational relevance program. The 10-year ICOR program aims to harness innovation and technologies to provide seamless global police information flows, maximizing their operational value at the front line. The contribution agreement was signed by Interpol Secretary General Jurgen Stock and Saudi Arabia's Minister of Interior represented by Colonel Abdul Malik Ibrahim Al Soghia, head of the country's Interpol National Central Bureau. The support comes an extension of the kingdom's pioneering role in exerting all efforts and enhancing participation aims at the eliminating crime and fighting it in all its forms. It also demonstrates the importance of Interpol building and developing its capabilities in the field of combating organized and cross-border crime and tracking criminals at the international level. Turkish President Erdogan arrived in Saudi Arabia on an official visit. Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan has arrived in Jeddah on Monday on an official visit to Saudi Arabia. He will also visit Emirates and Qatar after participating in Saudi-Turkish Business Forum. According to SPA, Prince Bandar bin Sultan bin Abdulaziz, Deputy Governor of Makkah region and Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan welcomed the President of Turkey at King Abdulaziz Airport in Jeddah. Saudi Arabia offers condolence to South Korea on flood victims. Saudi Arabia has expressed its condolence to the government and people of South Korea on the victims of the floods and landslide that occurred in Cheongju city. In a statement issued by the kingdom's Foreign Affairs Ministry, Saudi Arabia has also expressed its sincere wishes for quickly finding the missing and for a speedy recovery of the injured people. At least 40 people in South Korea have died after a weekend of severe rains caused widespread flooding and landslide across the country. Japan Prime Minister Fumio Kishida arrives in Abu Dhabi on official visit. Japanese Prime Minister Kishida Fumio arrived in the UAE capital Abu Dhabi on Monday on an official visit. According to the Emirates news agency, Kishida and the Japanese delegation visiting were received at the presidential airport in Abu Dhabi by Dr. Sultan bin Ahmad Al Jabbar, the UAE Ministry of Industry and Advanced Technology. Fumio Kishida started his Middle East tour in Jeddah on July 16, where he reaffirmed close bilateral ties with Saudi Arabia. The Japanese Prime Minister will spend a day in the UAE and then continue to Qatar on July 18. Saudi Arabia and Japan established Lighthouse Initiative for Clean Energy Cooperation. Saudi Arabia and Japan have decided to establish the KSA Japan Lighthouse Initiative for Clean Energy Cooperation. Crown Prince and Prime Minister Mohammed bin Salman and Prime Minister of Japan Kishida Fumio decided to establish the initiative after holding extensive talks and a bilateral meeting in Jeddah on Sunday. The initiative will serve as a backbone for other countries and regions as they develop their strategies and roadmaps towards their net zero ambitions, a joint statement read. Saudi Arabia has a strong ambition to decarbonize and reach at net zero emission by 2060 and benefit from its globally low cost of renewable and clean hydrogen as well as the country's strategic location on trade routes for energy products across the world. Japan too has strong decarbonization ambitions as it aims to achieve net zero by 2050. Tokyo is a global pioneer in clean energy technology solutions. Russia pulls out of UN-brokered Ukraine Grain Deal. Russia said Monday it was suspending its participation in a crucial deal that allowed the export of Ukraine grain, once again raising fears over global food supplies and scrapping a diplomatic breakthrough to emerge from Moscow's war in Ukraine. The agreement brokered by Turkey and the United Nations in July 2022 was officially set to expire at 5 p.m. ET on Monday midnight local time in Istanbul and Moscow. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told reporters on Monday that Russia would not renew the pact right now, saying it has been terminated. Taiwan reports record number of Chinese warships in water around the island. A record of 16 Chinese warships were spotted in waters around Taiwan in a 24-hour period late last week. The island's defense minister reported in what analysts said was the latest sign of an intimidation campaign against Taipei by China's ruling Communist Party. The People's Liberation Army Navy activists in the 24 hours ending at 6 a.m. local time Saturday followed exercise earlier last week that saw dozens of Chinese warplanes fly past the median line of the Taiwan Strait and into the key region of Taiwan's air defense identification zone. Over 72 hours in the middle of last week, 73 PLA aircraft either crossed the Taiwan Strait median line, an informal demarcation point that the Beijing does not recognize but until recently largely respected, or entered in the southeastern or southwestern parts of the island's ADIZ. During that same period, 9 PLA vessels were reported in waters around Taiwan in 3 consecutive days. China youth unemployment hits high as the recovery falters. Youth unemployment in China has hit a new record high as the country's post-pandemic recovery falters. The jobless rate of 16 to 24 years old in urban areas rose to 21.3% last month, official figures show. It comes as the world's second largest economy, grew just 0.8% in the 3 months to the end of June. Analysts say the weak pace of growth has raised expectations that the authorities may soon announce new measures to boost the economy. Pakistan and Iran military to set up cooperation against border attacks by militants. The top military leadership of Pakistan and neighboring Iran agreed to step up cooperation and intelligence sharing and take effective actions to prevent attacks by separatist militants along their porous border, Pakistani officials said Monday. Senior doctor in England announced more strikes rejecting pay deal. Senior doctors in England will hold 2 days of strike in August, their union, the British Medical Association, said on Monday, dismissing a 6% pay rise announced by government last week as a savage real-terms wage cut. Consultant-level doctors in Britain's publicly funded National Health Service will strike on August 24 and 25, adding to previously announced strike on July 20 and 21 and underscoring the failure of Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's bid to fully end months of industrial action across public service. Mr. Sunak last week described recent public sector pay increase as a final settlement, warning they could cause billions require budget cuts elsewhere and would not be subject to further negotiations. Bangladesh recruiters prepare workers to tap opportunities in Saudi Arabia. Bangladeshi recruiters said on Monday they are eager to tap into opportunities in Saudi Arabia as they prepare to train workers to fill vacancies in the kingdom. More than 225,000 Bangladeshi migrated to Saudi Arabia in the first half of 2023, according to official data, continuing trend from 2022 when employers in the kingdom hired more than half of the Asian countries' migrant workers under a skill verification program launched by the two countries earlier this year, which is aimed to improving the professional competence of employees in the Saudi labor market. The kingdom is set to recruit skilled workers from Bangladesh. According to the agreement signed earlier this year, the kingdom asked for a more skilled workforce. Shamim Ahmad Chowdhury Noman, Secretary General of the Bangladesh Association of International Recruiting Agency, told Arab News. United Nations hands over ship for oil transfer from rusting Yemen tankers. The United Nations on Monday handed over a vessel that will take on board oil from a decaying tanker in the Red Sea of war-torn Yemen, an operation aimed at averting an environmental catastrophe. The handover ceremony took place aboard the Nautica, which is being renamed the Yemen. In the coming days, an operation is expected to begin pumping 1.14 million barrels of crude oil to the Nautica from the FSO Safer, a resting 47-year-old ship that the UN described as a ticking time bomb. The UN-owned ship arrived off Yemen on Sunday. Emirati students take part in Japan's Youth Ambassador program. The influential Japanese International Cooperation Center are providing Emirati students through the UE 12-month Young Ambassador program the opportunity to prepare for study in the Asian nation. Previous YAP programs have taken place between the UE and other countries including China, South Korea and Germany. This is the first own plan with Japan in collaboration with the JICE and provides participants the knowledge of Japanese culture, history and language. The graduates of YAP are expected to become leaders in government, industry and academia and play critical roles in fostering a mutual beneficial relationship between the two countries. 21 students were chosen out of 250 applicants for the program. Schools and stock market closed as Hong Kong braced for Typhoon Talim. Schools and the stock market were closed in Hong Kong on July 17 as Typhoon Talim swept south of the city. As the financial hub braced for rainy and windy weather, more than 100 people sought refuge at temporary shelter. Some government and ferry services were halted and various events were postponed. The city's airport authority said 16 flights were cancelled. Iran's morality policy returned after protests in a new campaign to impose Islamic dress on women. Iranian authorities on July 16 announced a new campaign to force women to wear the Islamic headscarf, and morality police returned to the street 10 months after the death of a woman in their custody sparked nationwide protest. The morality police had largely pulled back following the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini last September, as authorities struggled to contain mass protests calling for the overthrow of the theocracy that has ruled Iran for over 4 decades. Indian politics stays set in Bengaluru for the second meeting of opposition party leaders. Bengaluru is set to host the political limelight yet again, with the upcoming meeting of opposition parties looking to draw up plans for a joint fight against the BJP in the Lok Sabha elections. This is the second time in the past 2 months that Bengaluru will host a number of political leaders, since several of them gathered for the severing in ceremony of Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. The meeting in Bengaluru follows the first such gathering in Patna last month to forge an anti-BJP political front. While this meeting was scheduled to be held at Shimla, Himachal Pradesh, it was moved to Bengaluru due to the weather condition in the hill state. Indian Supreme Court to consider plea seeking cross-verification of EVM vote count with VVPAT. The Supreme Court on Monday asked petitioner NGO Association for Democratic Reform to serve the Election Commission of India with a copy of their petition seeking a direction to cross-verify the vote count in electronic voting machine with votes separately recorded as cast in the voter verifiable paper audit trail. Indian Supreme Court fixes Bilkis Banu's case against remission to convict on August 7. The Supreme Court on Monday, July 17 fixed petition filed by Bilkis Banu and other against the premature release of 11 men sentenced to life imprisonment for gang raping Bilkis Banu and murdering her family during their 2002 Gujarat riots for hearing on July 7. A bench of Justice B.V. Nagaratne and Ujjal Bhayon recorded that service of notice of the case to the various release convict and other parties have been completed. Indian Supreme Court extends another 4 weeks protection from arrest to women lawyer who was part of Manipur fact-finding team. The Supreme Court on Monday, July 17 extended by 4 weeks its interim order protecting a women lawyer from arrest in a sedition case registered against her after she visited Valencia, Manipur as part of a fact-finding team. A bench headed by Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud gave Advocate Diksha Dwivedi 1 month time to approach a competent court, most probably the Manipur High Court, for further relief. 38 parties have confirmed participation in NDA meeting on Tuesday. JP Nadda. Leaders of 38 parties have confirmed their participation in a meeting of the ruling National Democratic Alliance to be held in the national capital on Tuesday, BJP President JP Nadda said. Addressing a press conference on Monday, July 17, Mr. Nadda said NDA's reach and scope have increased over the years. Pakistan Punjab Chief Minister Chaudhry Parvez Ilahi detained for 1 month application withdraw. Former Punjab Chief Minister and Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf President Chaudhry Parvez Ilahi has been detained for 30 days under 3 MPO. In a notification issued by District Commissioner Lahore on Sunday, it has been stated that Parvez Ilahi will be detained in camp jail for the next 30 days to maintain law and order in the city. The notification said that the Parvez Ilahi should be arrested and detained for the 30 days from the date of arrest. Referring to the 3 cases filed against Chaudhry Parvez Ilahi, the notification said that the former Chief Minister is an active member of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf and give inflammatory speeches. He is accused of disturbing the law and order situation and taking the law into his own hands. People can be provoked. SP Model Town Lahore and District Intelligence Branch have reported that the social workers like Parvez Ilahi can create unrest and chaos. The notification added that there is a genuine concern that not only Parvez Ilahi but also his supporters may damage public and private property and create a situation by blocking roads. That's all in today's headlines. Keep watching T10 Info TV SK channel by subscribing and do hit the bell icon to receive notification and more updates.